All right, kids. So we did this helper method, and this is going to go through a big long sentence or a statement or whatever we put in, and it's going to find that current word, and it's going to return the current word followed by a colon, followed by a space, followed by the part of speech. But this, again, this is just a helper function for this method up here, the tag parts of speech. So what this is going to do, this is going to search through this statement. And in this statement, when it finds this word, it is going to take the word and the colon and the part of speech. And it's going to print that out one after the other in a column. So let's go up here. Again, we are going to use, I think we have to use, I've tried to think about using this in a for loop like I did the one time where we just went through each letter. I don't really want to do that. So let's go, let's create, I don't need this string. I don't need this string output down here so as not to cause any confusion. I'm going to comment that out since I did not use it. And I'm going to go up here and I'm going to create the same string. I'll call it output again, and I'll set it equal to the empty string. All right, and then we are going to, I want to know where the first space is in this statement, because the statement is going to be a big long sentence. So there are going to be a number of words and a number of spaces. So I need to know where the initial space is. And this is kind of like initializing my variable for a while loop. So let's call it the space. And I just want to know in this statement, what is the index of the space? And that seems a good way to start. So let's do our while loop. All right, so in our while loop, we're going to go while. So as we go through this statement, we're going to keep doing these steps as long as the space, which is the index of the space, as long as it is greater than 0. I guess we could have said equal to -1. You know, if it didn't exist, it would probably return a -1. But this is more positive. Like we're always going to do these steps as long as the space is greater than 0. In other words, a space exists. When I get to the end, when I get to the end of a sentence, and I don't have a sentence here, but suppose that this was my sentence. When I get to the end of the sentence, there will be a quote after it, and there won't, and that tells me, hey, I'm at the end. So there is nothing after that. There'll be no space. All right, so we want to let's create a string object for, and I used word down here, and but it's actually, it's, I guess I could probably just use current word because it's actually going to be the current word is really what I'm using. So I'm going to use this as my variable up here because that is what it will be. So current word. And what I'm interested in is I'm going to make that current word equal to the substring up to the space. So the statement dot substring starting at 0 and going up to, but not including the index of the space. And then what I want to do is I want to see if that current word lives in this big long list of all these words. And so this is where I'm going to use the helper function. So I'm going to go string, And I will call this, I guess I'll call this current part. And what I'm wanting is I want to get the word with part. That is this method down here, get word with part. And I want to pass it the current word, which is that first word in whatever sentence I pass through it. Now, so what I'd like to do, okay, so I've got my if statements or my while loops, and I've set up my string variables. So now I am going to like if this current part existed, that means the length of it would be greater than 0. And if it is listed, I want to print it out. So what I'm going to do next, I'm going to say, hey, if the current part, the length of it, and we're doing a string, so I got to put parentheses after it. If it is greater than 0, if that's true, I want to take my output and I want to add onto it that current part, which I got from the helper function, plus I want to do the escape sequence. So now remember, the current part is coming from this helper statement. So that helper statement is taking this current word, which is whatever word I'm on in my statement. And so it's going to return this. Okay, so if it returns this, then that length is greater than 0. And so it's going to add that to the output. So that is all that is happening there. It's just going to add that to the output. Now what I need to do is I need to I've taken that word, put it in my output. Now I need to kind of redefine my statement because I kind of need to get rid of that word and that space and kind of start all over again. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to redefine my statement to be equal to, oh, not that. I didn't want to put it there. To be equal to, I want it to be the statement substring at whatever the space is plus 1. So what I'm doing is I'm saying, hey, I've got the word. I've taken that word out of that statement, and I'm going to create a new statement, which is just equal to the rest of it. In other words, I'm redefining this statement, which they're passing to it. I'm redefining that statement to be the rest of the string after I get rid of the first word. And then what I need to do is I need to take my space variable, and I need to find what the new index is in this statement. So I'm going to take that statement and I want to find the index of the space in that new statement. And then all I'm going to do, I'm just going to return the output when I'm done. I'm just going to return the output. So let's go. I think this is going to run. So call the tag parts of speech method and print the result. So I'm going to take Alexa dot tag parts of speech, and I'm going to say I'll make my sentence be I really like AP Computer Science A. that will be my statement that I am going to check. And so let's go to print that out. System dot out dot println. And let me put that println over here and semicolon that puppy out. Now, who knows? This may or may not work. We're going to find out here in a second, but I think I've gotten all my semicolons in there. So let's see what happens. Cannot find the symbol part. So let's go up here. Part was in the while loop. Oh, it was current part. Oh no, it was down here. String. Part, right? Word, and then part. Mm, parts of speech I, substring colon 1, string word, all right, int colon, string. I've spelled everything correctly, I think. Haven't I? Haven't I? Haven't I? Doesn't like word, doesn't like part. I wonder if I've used it somewhere else. I called that current part. I called that my space. Word is the parts of speech that comes at the end after the colon. So I'm making sure I got the colon. I want to make sure that's a capital O. And I'm also going to make sure it is, oh, parts, is it parts of speech? I wonder if I did part of speech. It's not capitalized. Parts of speech. I'm going to copy that and bring that down here just to make sure. So making sure those are eyes. Those are eyes. Those are eyes. Oh, I think it needs to be like this. Forgot the length there. Let's try this. Still couldn't do it. Why is it not doing it? Returns a string. Am I passing it? I pass it a word. Going from 0 to space. Good. And that's a statement. So I've got the statement. So what is going on with this down here? Oh, I bet, you know what I bet? I wonder. I don't think so check if the current word matches the word in parts of speech. So I don't think I did that originally. So I think what I need to do is if let me do this. If current word, is that what this is up here? Is that the thing I'm passing? If current word dot equals um part of speech if it equals that, then I think I want to do this. All right, let's see if this works now. Arg, 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 arg. Cannot find the symbol part. Maybe I should also put this. I probably should put this up in here as well. So, well, I'm somewhere else, so that's pretty good. I will take length out of there. Statement. Well, if I could, oh, I want, something that could have statement. So I spelled statement wrong up here. I'm getting further along. Let's see. Chatbot missing a return statement. So I guess it. So it doesn't like word or parks. It doesn't exist. So if oh, here's what I'll do. I'll put this up here. I'm going to copy this. I will put this up here. And then I will also return nothing down here. If it's not, if in other words, if it doesn't exist, I'm just going to return nothing. See if it's okay with that. Ah, okay, there. That took longer than I wanted it to. So let's grab that sentence that in the example solution. And so here is the in the sample solution, here is the sentence. Probably missed the first one. So let's see if it returns what it should return. So let's go here and let's move that back. All right, let's see what it does. This is still a 20-minute video. Still did this and still went 20 minutes. That would have been 30 minutes if I did all this together. So there are, that I believe matched what it was before. Let's run the test and see how the test shakes out. And the test is going to be for both of them. Success. All right, kids. We'll probably run through this in class anyway.